Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Thursday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. Literally had to take, literally had to take Gaviscon right before I went live because it was like, yeah, needed to deal with that bit of reflux that I had there, guys. So sorry about that. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys, most of you guys, I know, came from the to Davies in Dave McGuinness's show this morning. Hope obviously I was there lurking, and obviously they got a show later on today at 4 o'clock. So would definitely be sure to go and check that out later on if you get a chance to, as well. A reminder that tonight, myself and Graham Price of Power to the People will be doing a Reform Watch show. Been a while since we've done one. See how it goes. I've got loads of stories on reform, believe it or not, including another one on reform dropped today, just to kind of add more to them. They just can't get out of the news, can they, guys? They just can't get out of the news. So we will go through all that there. But as for this show, guys, for those who are new here and aren't familiar with the Good Morning show, it's Good Morning with Reganelite, with myself, Reganelite, here on Thursday, the 5th of March, 2026. We go roughly for about an hour long here. And what we do on this show, we look at today's daily quote, which we'll get to in a moment. We'll have a look at the weather and see what the weather's forecasting. Then we have a look at see what the media is talking about. Not so much the papers, but we go to the websites themselves to have a look and see what stories they've got for us. So we'll have a look at, like, for example, the Telegraph, the Times, the Financial Times, iPaper, Independent. So we have a look at see what stories they've got for us there. And in some cases, we'll have to look at some video clips as well, possibly, if they have some available as well. And we'll have a look at them together and share our thoughts. So that's essentially what we do for this hour here. So let me just say hello to everyone who's here in the chat. Billy Kershaw, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Ellie, good morning to you there. And Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. I did say good morning to Ellie, didn't I? I'm not going mad today. Mel, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well as well. Christina, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well as well. Harry, good morning to you. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well as well. Viper Scott, thank you so much for the £2 super chat just to get the goal started. Thank you so much for that £2 super chat. Much appreciated. Yep, 4 more super chats for today's goal. If we can get there, it'd be fantastic. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it, my friend. And yes, of course, we got the quackers emoji there in the chat, all ducked out. Apparently, we are all ducked out indeed. Right, let's get going, guys. So here is today's daily quote. A nice simple one for the 5th of May. Here it is. If you can see it there. I don't know why the screen's it's a bit more darker. I think it's because there's the sunlight outside. I've got it covered as well there. Very simple one there. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. That is true. But what? Yeah, what is your definition of perfect, though? Interesting one. It's an interesting one there. A very nice one for Friday as well, from Mark Twain for tomorrow's daily quote there as well, guys. There. Right, let's have a look and see what the weather is forecasting for us today, shall we? Let's have a look at the big, beautiful planet. And if you guys are interested in having your own daily calendar quote, you can get one at pennylittlethoughts.com. Link is in the description just for reference. Excuse me. So, here is today's weather. I've got it using the bbc.co.uk/weather maps. The time is set at 6 o'clock on a Thursday, just for reference for people. And these are what we are forecasting later on today. So let's start with North America here. Very, very cold up in Canada. As cold as -25, -22 there. And in Alaska, -17. Parts of Canada and America vary depending on what part of North America you may be living in. Winnipeg, -8. Vancouver, 9. Denver, 16. Chicago, 7. Nashville, 24 there. And Miami, a nice warm, toasty 28 degrees there. Kingston, there at 30 degrees. Mexico City is also at 20 there. And San Jose at 17. Parts of South America here. Rio de Janeiro, there at 29 degrees. La Paz at 15 there. And Caracas, there right at the top at 25 degrees with plenty of rainstorms there. Looking over here to parts of Africa here. Temperatures are as high as 29 degrees with some as low as 20 degrees there. Cape Town, respectfully, there. With a few showers here and there, but nothing really quite big that we normally get like we do in the UK or over in South America. Crossing a bit further over here on the other side of the world here, all the way in New Zealand, Auckland and Wellington, 14, 16 respectfully there. Australia, temperatures as high as Darwin at 26 there and as low as 16 in Melbourne there. Singapore 26, Bangkok 28, Taiwan there at 19 degrees, Tokyo very cold at 4 degrees, Beijing even colder at -3 there. Shanghai, -9 degrees there. Not -9, 9 degrees there. New Delhi at 23. Obviously, things are very uncomfortable right now in the Middle East with temperatures around Tehran 10, Baghdad 11, Riyadh 16, Kuwait 18 there. Port Sudan 24, Khartoum 26 there. Cairo 17 there, respectfully there. It's going a bit further. Let's just have a look at our friends in Iceland. I will come to that in a moment, Alistair. Just bear with me. And Iceland there getting their fair share of snow, as they normally do up there at 1 degrees. 1 degrees, so just over the threshold. Still very cold nonetheless there. As for Europe, Madrid and Lisbon, respectively 15 and 12 there, with plenty of rainstorms and maybe even a few snowstorms in some of the higher peaks of the area there. Parts of Northern Africa there as temperatures is 13, 15, 16, with Tripoli there at 21. Palmelo 13, Rome 15, Nice at 17 there, Bern 10 as well, and Paris at 15 degrees. Yeah, most of Europe has been kind of dry, most of Europe this week as well. Same as the UK. Most of the UK has been kind of dry in most parts there as well. Berlin 6, Prague 6, Vienna 11, Zagreb at 11, Warsaw there, the capital Poland at 4 degrees there, Kiev there, very chilly 3 degrees. Thoughts and prayers, of course, for our friends and allies there who are still in that brutal, terrible war. Romania's capital there at 5 degrees, and Romania. I'm getting the countries mixed up there. Am I getting it mixed up? Possible. It's just Romania's capital. I'm going mad now. My geography. 5 degrees. Bucharest at 9. Taria 13. Athens 15. Istanbul at 9 degrees there. Volgograd and Moscow both very chilly 0 degrees with their fair share of winter storms here and there. St. Petersburg -3 and Oslo -1. Sarah, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. And Brussels there at -14. We'll come to the UK in just a moment. Let me just scroll back up a second, guys. Thank you, Viper Scott, for £2 super chat. For Fluffy Duck, for Mel. Oh, you mean this? Do you mean this guy? You mean Mel here? Yes. Hello. Yes, hello. Yes. You can represent Quackers by using the Quackers emoji, which is available for members there. Thank you so much for that £2 super chat. They're much appreciated, Viper. Very, very kind of you. And, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships as well. That very, very, very generous today, my friend. Nazim Zawar, if I've said that name right, my apologies. I hope you haven't. It's been gifted a membership. Sergey Merck, Kat as well. And Beard Nugden has also been gifted one. And Darrain Lionheart as well. And John June also been gifted membership. So congratulations to all the new members. Thank you so much for that. It's very, very kind of you there. Yes, I don't if I've pronounced their names right. Hopefully there. I think John June is one of Donkey Day's mates who does a lot of public speaking at the Miners Gathering. Thank you for sharing that, Billy. Much appreciated. I don't really watch much of Donkey Days. There's a lot of YouTubers that I'm subscribed to that don't watch a lot. It's just it's all down to time there. But yeah, do check out Donkey Dave's YouTube channel. He does as well. Check out the work he does there. Personator, good to see you there as well. Hope you are doing well. Excuse me. Oh God, stomach is really playing up this morning. Good morning, Stephen Banker. Hope you are doing well. Another one of our great moderators as well. Right, let's have a look at the UK here in terms of temperatures here. So at the moment, this is what we're forecasting right now, as some of our friends in Scotland would have seen. Some of you guys might be experiencing no showers right now. Some people might not be, because depending on where you are. But a bit later on, you will experience it. And you may even get some snow possible later on as well. Temperatures are expected to drop as the day goes on. If you're living in more of the northern England and Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland, temperatures will start to drop off, as you can see there. And again, if you're in the Highlands, you can see some forecast of some snow there. Going a bit more overnight, these are what temperatures are expecting here. It's not going to be affected, weather's not going to be affected too much where I am. However, obviously, again, if you're up in those north, you can see those temperatures dropping as low as 3 and 4 degrees. Even in the early hours of the morning, temperatures are going to drop even more. And there is some possible snow in southern Scotland, as well as parts of northern England is going to be experiencing it. How much that settles, I doubt very, very much there. But you can see those temperatures, 7 and 8 degrees, Manchester, Cardiff, London, and Dublin, Belfast, 1 and 2, and Edinburgh just a bit more at 3 degrees there. But those temperatures will start to pick back up, and that rain and snow will slowly dissipate later on into Friday here. And we can see it'll come back to a bit more of a dry spell. Temperatures will pick up a little bit as well. And we can see there's a little bit of a rainstorm coming in the south of England. It's going to hit parts of London, parts of the Midlands there, and southern England there. Not too much of it though, but temperatures are still staying pretty fairly okay for that part there. Temperatures are going to drop again going into Friday night into Saturday. Here we can see those temperatures dropping as low as 2 and 3 degrees again. But again, myself and friends in Cardiff, we get away with it again with those temperatures. We can see there. Look at that. Very, very cold temperatures for Saturday morning. You can see 1, 3, 3, 5, 7, and 8 there. Very cloudy, but not really any rain or snow. Looks like it's going to be all overnight there. Going into the next day there. Temperatures will start to peak back up a little bit again around lunchtime. No rain, no snow, so it's going to be a dry day. It's going to be a nice dry day for Saturday morning, which is very nice if you've got any plans for Saturday, which is very good. They may get a few showers down in if you're living down in the southwest of England, but overall you can see most of the whole of the UK is pretty much going to be nice and dry there. Doc Davis, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Going a bit further on here, temperatures can reach as high as 11 degrees, and temperatures sustain around 7, 8 degrees in Scotland and Ireland respectively there. Going a bit more over for Saturday night into Sunday morning here. We can see those temperatures again. They're not too bad, it looks like, from Sunday. So yeah, it's still going to be chilly in the north, but temperatures staying roughly around about the same overnights in London, Manchester, and Cardiff respectively there. Even Dublin, a bit more increase in temperatures there. But it's going to stay nice and dry overnight on Saturday. Yeah, so most of Saturday, pretty much, yeah, Saturday's going to have an all-day dry day, guys. All-day dry day. So a good day to go out, get out of the house, get some fresh air, and plan some stuff, yeah, outside you can, because you're not going to be getting any rain forecast whatsoever there. As for Sunday, are we also going to have a nice dry day? Looks like most of Sunday is going to be a dry day. Temperatures are coming back up here. We can see London 13 there, Cardiff 11, Manchester 12, Dublin 11, Belfast 10, Edinburgh 10. So the temperatures are going to peak back up for our friends in Scotland there. We can see, if I just push it a bit more further. So a bit later on in Sunday evening, there is some rain forecast, unfortunately, in Northern Ireland. However, it looks like most of Sunday is pretty much going to be nice and dry as well. So we've got a double day weekend of dry spell pretty much throughout the most of the UK here, which is very, very nice. How often do we have a weekend, yeah, where we don't have any rain or snow? It's been a while since we've had that, but we are having it this weekend, guys. Very, very happy about that. That's going to be very, very good. In terms of Monday morning, overnight on Sunday into Monday morning, temperatures drop a little bit, but again, like it's this, this temperatures aren't too bad here. Looks like 7 degrees here. There may be some rain forecast dropping overnight in parts, but it looks like it's gonna be a dry night most parts there. And yeah, Monday morning, from the looks of it here, temperatures gonna be a bit chilly, but nothing too bad as some of the other days that we've got here. But we can see just going into lunchtime here, temperatures picking back up, and again, there's a little bit of rain here and there. Tiny little bits and bops there on the Monday as well. But it looks like Monday is going to be a pretty dry day throughout most of it as well. There's going to be a bit more rain there, but yeah, it looks like for most of Monday as well, we're going to have a bit of a dry spell. There will be some pockets of showers, but nothing too big there. So that's very, very good indeed. So it's nice to have a weekend coming up, and I've got a lot of traveling to do anyway. So it's nice to know that I don't need to worry about getting wet whatsoever. So that's good for me there. Yeah, the intro does that does that to people. It's actually helpful to you, Mel. It's to remind you that it's intentionally there to remind you. That's why we've got the sound in to intentionally to remind you. Right, let's have a look at some of the news, guys. There's plenty to talk about indeed, of course. So we start with the Telegraph, the Reform Graph, the Russian Graph, the BS Graph. So I've done a live feed. They've got an Iranian drone has struck an airport in Azerbaijan. So obviously, if we discuss for those who weren't there on last night's live stream, we know obviously that one of the tactics that Iran are going to be doing is trying to disrupt the global economy, and they're striking another country in Azerbaijan there from the sounds of it. Macron fries freedom fries redemption in Iraq crisis apparently there. Describing workplace as competitive is too masculine, says Labour. Okay. I'm not sure about that. I think competition is really, really important. And competition does help drive initiative and it can help drive people to achieve more if you put in competitions. I really do. Alatar's ruthless son sets to take over regime. Still not confirmed. They haven't confirmed it as far as I'm aware. Labour MP's partner arrested on suspicion of spying for China. So this is obviously the big story. Of course, I'm sure most of you guys have heard it from Dame McGuinness's perspective. I can't open the story here, but from what I've read, it's obviously like, I mean, if you've been spying, like, it's going to be very difficult to get them out of the situation that they're in. You know, I don't want anything to happen to them, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, you need to prove your innocence. Miliband is leading a cabinet revolt against Trump's Iran war, apparently there. It's got US submarine sinks Iranian warship off Sri Lanka. I think we saw that video clip yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. France and Germany dash Ukraine's hope of fast-track EU membership. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that so fast, I'm afraid there. What does the Iran war mean for Ukraine? Well, here's the thing. So Zelensky mentioned yesterday on the video, yesterday, he basically has said that the Ukraine will agree to help the United States and its ally Israel and whatnot in terms of helping to combat drones, because they know about drones very, very well and sophisticated in attacking and defending, because obviously they suffer from them on a daily basis. But he said only on the condition that we continue to get the same resources and whatnot that we're getting now, which the US has agreed. But unfortunately, this is the Trump administration, which has a very bad tendency of keeping its word. So cross fingers that they don't cross fingers. I really, really hope Ukraine is not going to suffer in this Iran war. I really hope not. Good morning, Witchy Goth. Hope you are doing well. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel. I don't know if she's going live today, but do check out her content if you can. Be greatly appreciated there. Why Trump can't get his story straight on Iran? Because he's a dumbass. That might be a reason. 50,000 missing Epstein files to be released this week. 50,000 to be released this week. So we're going to get more Epstein file releases this week. You know what? This makes with the war in Iran, they're going to use that as a nice smoke screen. They'll use that as a nice smoke screen, yeah, for anything there. Reform pledges to give Wales lowest income tax in England. Is this the same reform? This is hold on, guys, but isn't this the same reform that promised to reduce council tax for people and then increase their council tax in England? Isn't that what didn't they promise to cut taxes and they ended up increasing them? Yeah. It's important to remind Welsh voters that, you know, when reform pledge any kind of cutting in tax, they've done the exact opposite. Very important. Where, you know, if for our friends in Wales, if they do hear, for our friends in Wales, I can't stress this enough. You know, if reform voters in Wales try to argue that this is what they're planning to do, show them what happened in Kent County Council, where they promised to reduce council tax and now they've increased it. Really, really important for them to know that they blatantly lied. So expect rises then. Pretty much, Sarah. Yeah. Really, really important. And Sarah, if anyone in voting for reform in Wales tries to argue this pledge, just show them what they did in Kent County Council, where they pledged to reduce council tax and they've increased it. Please do. Let caterpillars eat your plants. Gardeners have been told. The some gardeners would not take too kindly to that. Like I want caterpillars to be well looked after. There's certain plants that people do not want their plants being eaten, especially ones when they pay a lot of money for them. Depends what plants, though. I think is that they're there. Dubai influencers warn they face jail over war post. Oh, warn over the post there. A 4-year-old suffered most enduring damage from COVID lockdowns. Is they're trying to justify that the lockdowns were bad again? Are we still doing this 6 years on? Britain deploys elite drone hunters to the Middle East. Excuse me. And a man dies after stabbing near a nursery. Near a nursery as well. That's absolutely terrible. God, my stomach is really playing up this morning. It's not good, guys. Let's have a look here. I did take Gaviscon before I went live as well. Yep, all you can do is make the points across. But some people, Sarah, is the problem is it's just been difficult. Bowler Hatman coverage of Reform Council has been most enlightening. Yeah, I'm sure he would have been covering a lot of Reform and not Labour because of their performance lately. I didn't watch his video, but I know he really trashed Zach Polanski and the Greens after their Gordon by-election. When I didn't watch the video, but I saw the title. He has these views, let me put it that way. MPs reject China links after husband's spying arrest, which he's entitled to, just like I am. Back my laws to stop illegal migration or lose trust, Mohammed tells MPs. You're not going lose trust. Don't even have the trust of the people. Do you even have the trust of the people? I'll be live again Sunday at 6 p.m. Sunday 6 p.m. live stream. There you go, guys. I will not be available to see that because I've got lots of plans on the weekend. But yeah, definitely do check that out if you guys haven't got any plans for Sunday evening. The Green Party are facing a lawsuit over trans witch hunt. This trans issue has never gone away from the Green Party. But this is the time, so I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, the story. With Reeves' claims of £1,000 a year boost maybe as little as £40. Families are worried 6 time, I said. Then the MPs whooped. Let's have a look at the front of UK. Labour MP's husband, one of 3 held on suspicion of spying for China. David Taylor, a lobbyist, has been arrested for allegedly assisting a foreign intelligence service, apparently there. MPs to be caught by the £100,000 tax trap. Heathrow Airport accused of misrepresentation over the 3rd runway. This is their current intention as of today, according to their polling here. We've got the Greens at 15, Reform at 27%, Labour, the Conservatives neck and neck at 19%, and the Lib Dems at a boring 12% there. Currently, that's what they're recording there. Sadly, Donnan quits as SNP candidate over alleged benefit fraud. Blaine reinstated to Cricket Scotland's Hall of Fame. Miracle Baby examines emotional scars of life under the medical lens. And there, as some other stories there. Queen Elizabeth's favourite dog is in danger of being banned, apparently. Physician, baby brain does really befettle new mothers. That may be a good thing. That's healthcare. Student loans system risk collapse as minister who tripled the fees. Such a terrible system. Crypto billionaire pardoned by Trump gives £20 million to science. Wow. School talks compare students' loan repayments to a £30 phone contract. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Head teacher moves term dates to go on a luxury cruises. That doesn't sound very ideal. Head of Police Federation arrested on suspicion of fraud. Grand National trainer beat dog walker with a hockey stick, apparently, as well. Those are some of the stories from the Times there. Let's have a look at. I can't open the story though, but I do have it. I think it's available from the Independent here. Hopefully we'll get to it in a bit. But yeah, this is the front of the Times here. They've got Reform gains a second big donation from a Thailand-based crypto investor. So they had one back in December. December they had one. It was reported by everyone, by lots of outlets. And now they've had a second crypto-based donation. They really need to close the loophole on crypto-based donations. This is a very, very scary indeed. The Populist Party received $3 million from Christopher Harbert in November last year, on top of $9 million in August. Very, very concerning indeed. UK regulator studies £8 billion in private dentistry market over price concerns. And NHS waiting lists for appointments have reached record highs in recent years. Yeah, the private dentistry are making a killing off the British public because of our poor NHS dentistry system here, guys. It's not good. I have no sympathy with MPs being caught in the £100,000 tax trap. It depends on what MPs, though. Is what my response is. My response to that would be depends what MPs, what political party MPs fall for the trap. I mean, if we're talking Conservatives or Reform, I have very little sympathy. But maybe Green MPs, I don't think they'll fall for it. But if they did, I would have sympathy for them. And that's just my bias coming through. NHS publish official push to add patient data to Platinum platform while also advertising the company. Matthew Swindles has been joint chair of 4 major hospital trusts in North West London since April 2012. Stop giving data to Platinum. These people do not have our interest in any way, shape or form. BBC urged ministers to end the political board appointments. A consultation response comes as national broadcaster seeks to secure greater institutional independence in the next Royal Charter. Yeah, the board appointments cannot be political. They need to be more independent. You can't have the BBC influenced by politics. It's just not a good thing. China spying arrest raises awkward questions about Labour Party's links. Yes, it does. UK's cut further curtail of asylum seekers there. UK energy suppliers pull fixed tariff deal as Iran crisis drives up prices. A Labour MP partner among 3 arrested in the UK on suspicion of spying for China, which we will come to in a bit there. So some of the UK stories for the FT. Let's have a look at the front here, what they've got here. Israel said it struck Iranian missile launchers and defence systems, according to their IDF source there. Sri Lanka still searching for 60 missing sailors after a US submarine sank in an Iranian vessel. The US Senate voted down an effort to limit Donald Trump's ability to take military action without congressional approval. US President Donald Trump says he had a feeling Iran was going to attack US interests. We touched on that yesterday. Oil prices continue to climb as stock markets rebound in Asia. Those are some of the stories there the FT has just showcased there. Scott, the Pentagon is eyeing Ukrainian interceptor drones to counter Iran. It's an exclusive there from the FT. Kiev has pioneered cheap and mass-produced machines to battle Russian veterans as a shell attack drones. So they obviously want to have that same technology. Nissan warns of Sunderland closure if the UK excludes from Made in Europe rules. And that's not very good. We do not want to lose more manufacturing. Backhanders of brown envelopes, methinks Reganelite, says Viper Scott. It's not brown envelopes anymore. It's third-party transfer or transferring money from a mate or something. Backdoor, crypto or NFT links and something like that now. It's all those ways now. It's done. It's all done those ways. China cuts growth target between 4.5% and 5% there. Facial recognition technology comes to Britain's supermarket aisles. Thief and threats against shop workers have risen sharply since the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't like that. I'm not sure if I think that's a good idea for retailers to have facial recognition of you in their shops there. ISA millionaires outnumber lottery millionaires, new study has claimed. US congressional panel voted to subpoena Pam Bondi over the Epstein files. Very interesting. Revenue applies for US banking license to push to crack American market there as well. ITV is actively engaged with Sky to sell broadcast division, says its chief. That's the story on the right-hand side for those who can't see it there. And NVIDIA stops production of chips intended for the Chinese market. That's very interesting. Pakistan thwarts JP Morgan's efforts to buy historic New York hotel there. And also fertilizer disruption from Iran's conflict prompts a global food shortage warnings as well there. Some interesting headlines there from the FT, that is for sure, guys. Some interesting stories indeed. Let's have a look at the iPaper and see what they're saying here. Do you think I was crossing Europe with these prices? It's 4 hours, says Mel. Let's have a look, see what the iPaper are saying today here, guys. So, migrant crisis on the front of their politics here for the iPaper here. Asylum seekers are to face hotel evictions from June's. You can't out-reform reform, Shabina Mohammed warned by allies. Everyone has been saying this. Everyone's been saying this. Navy destroyer won't be ready to defend RF base in Cyprus until next week. I'm just going to put this allegation out there. The drone strike that was done on the RF base in Cyprus, it's already been confirmed that it was not by Iran. I am just going to put this out there. I am saying it was allegedly Israel with the intention of provoking the UK government into joining the war. I would not be surprised, and obviously I'm just making an allegation with no evidence whatsoever. I am alleging that Israel are going to do a second drone strike at that base with the intention of once again trying to proxy and poke the United Kingdom to get involved in the war. That, I'm just making that allegation out there with no evidence whatsoever. Allegedly. Allegedly. The drone busting helicopter and missile defences deployed to defend Cyprus. Students from these 4 countries now can't get UK visas. Here's why. They've got 1 million more state pensioners will be dragged into paying income tax. Higher petrol prices in the weeks and energy bills could jump by £800 a year. That was a statement made by Ed Davis. I don't know what the UK government is going to do to stop that, but they are looking at ways of getting around that. They did speak to oil and gas companies yesterday with regards to the crisis. I do know that. Britain's faced the highest tax burden in history by 2030. Benefits feel to cost an extra 74 billion as Reece pledged back to work reforms as well there. Those are column pieces there, not interesting column pieces. Any other stories here? BBC plans to end the license fee as we know it. Good. Well, I keep talking about it. What are we replacing it with? That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. In the video are a bunch of thingies. I paid £20 a month to use their platform. And it's the only way I can play Euro Truck Sims 2 instead of unlimited play. I only get 100 hours a month. That sucks. I've still got Sarah. You might not believe this, but I've still got Sims 2 the game like in the case here. Look. I'm gonna wind you up here, Sarah. Sorry, because you had to bring it out. I've literally got I've just got I've got all of them down here in this cupboard case down here. Me and my missus, we don't play them as much as we used to, but I've still got. They all work fine on this computer, but yeah, that was we only played The Sims and Sims 2. I never got into the other Sims because I felt like they were too much for me. But yeah, we still got the expansion pack still sitting down in the case down there, in the cupboard down there. Oh dear, those were the days. And yes, I did use cheat codes for reference, Sarah. Yes, of course I did. What do you think I am? Asylum seekers face hotel evictions from June. Yep. A seaside town where playgrounds are padlocked. Why are we padlocking? Okay, unless the I can't open it because iPaper has their stories behind the paywall. But the only reason they should be padlocked is if they are deemed unsafe and they haven't invested in fixing the playgrounds. That should be the only reason why they are padlocked there. Have fun witching off on your run today. Hopefully I'll catch you soon. Take care. What else have we got here? We looked at the politics already. Health stories here. World stories. I'm a former CIA officer. This is what the US will be doing on the ground in Iran, he claims. Putin will see the growing chaos in Iran as an opportunity for Russia. Absolutely. He will absolutely be seeing that. UK hasn't ruled out deploying troops to the Middle East. Western officials say all options are open in a fast-paced and developing situation. Yeah, look, I hate to say this, but the government cannot just say to you, we are not deploying troops. We are putting an ironclad guarantee to the British public that we will not be deploying troops, that we will not be deploying strikes into Iran. They can't make that cast iron guarantee because it's an ever-evolving, changing situation. I hate saying that, but it can't be ruled out. It can't be ruled out, guys. I hate saying that, but it can't be ruled out. Iran prepares to use its deadliest weapons, and UK troops could be targeted. It sounds like to me an attempt to try and coax the UK into joining the war. I'm a primary teacher. Sending reforms will fail without more teaching assistants there. Head raises concerns about the funding set out in Labour's Send reforms, whether there will be enough for vital teaching assistants. These are the people we need to be talking to. Teachers who are literally on the ground and understand it better than any of us. Also says children with autism are at risk of losing the EHRP under Send reforms as well. It's dangerous. Send parents give their verdict on Labour reforms. So you've got parents and you've got teachers here against it, according to these two pieces. But I also want to hear from teachers and parents who are also in favour of it and why they're in favour of it as well. I would like to hear the other side of the spectrums there, not just people who are against it. I think that's really, really important. 4-tier SEND system means children must fail first. Special schools have warned there as well. So those are some of the stories from the iPaper. We'll come to the Independent in just a moment. Thank you for the £2 super chat, Viper Scott. Looking at chat, see it's a great community. It's a wonderful community, yeah. Very grateful for everyone who is joining us this morning. Much appreciated. Thank you for the £2 super chat there. Yeah, hope you guys can join us tonight at 8 o'clock, myself and Graham Price. And hopefully we won't have any internet issues or anything like that at all. And if you can get out today and the weather's not too bad, please do. I'm definitely going to be popping out today for sure. Yeah, thank you for that £2 super chat. Just 2 more to go, guys, to get to the goal. If anyone else wants to contribute, it'd be greatly appreciated, guys. Right, we still got over 20. We still got quite a lot to look into, guys. So let's have a look at the Independent here. Under UK politics, the UK to pay failed asylum seeker families 40,000 to leave the country. What? Oh, this is currently live. So Shabina Mohammed unveils a scheme to pay the failed asylum seekers' families £40,000 to leave the UK. The Home Secretary is expected to include a crackdown on asylum seekers who break the law or work illegally. So she's set to unveil sweeping reforms intended to reduce benefit availability to asylum seekers who break the law or work illegally in the speech this morning. The Home Secretary would detail the new policies, which are expected to include a rational new trial to paid asylum seekers' families up to £40,000 to leave the UK within 7 days, reports LBC. Around 150 families are expected to take part in the trial. It has been reported, which Home Office homes it could save around £20 million per year if implemented more widely. But the plans have been slammed as reform light by critics who accuse Ms Mohammed of echoing the rhetoric of the far right. The Home Secretary will say that her reforms to the asylum system and the permanent settlements are not a betrayal of Labour values, but rather an emboldenment of them. It's not Labour values what you're doing, okay? It's just not, okay? Like I know they're trying so hard to appeal to the people on the right, but it's not Labour values. Like it's just not. Ms Mohammed's move follows Mr Farage's and his Home Affairs spokesperson Zira Yusuf announcing draconian immigration plans at a press conference in Dover, where they vowed to introduce mass deportations, set up a British version of Donald Trump's ICE immigration force, and cancel welfare for all foreign nationals, among a series of extreme measures. So 10 minutes ago, yeah, this has literally just come out 10 minutes ago. This story here. You can't out-reform reform, but they're going to try to. Who is the British billionaire behind another big donation to reform? We'll touch on that. I'm sure we'll touch on that story tonight. Reform UK receives second big donation from crypto investor. Yeah, we'll touch on that story tonight as well. I've got that saved already for reference there. Czech lawmaker will vote on lifting immunity for populist leader Babis over EU fraud case. What's this about? Czech lawmakers are considering lifting the former Prime Minister Andrea Babis immunity so prosecutors can press a fraud case. Lawmakers in the lower house of the Czech Parliament were set to decide on Thursday whether to lift the Prime Minister's immunity from prosecution in a £2 million case involving European Union subsidies. Why is this under UK? Why is this under UK politics here? The approval would allow Prague's municipal courts to deal with the case issuing a verdict. The court has acquired Babis twice before an appeal court cancelled these rulings, but did not properly assess evidence and request the lower court issue a guilty verdict in a retrial. Babis pleaded not guilty and said the case is clearly politically motivated, but the prosecution had originally requested a suspended sentence and a fine to be paid to the populist billionaire who began his third term as Prime Minister in December. So a Czech billionaire is their Prime Minister. A billionaire is the leader of the Czechs. Jesus. Case centered around a farm known as Storkness, which also receives EU subsidies after its ownership was transferred from Babis' owner. The subsidies. Like, I don't need to read any more than this, guys. He's a populist billionaire, and he's in his third term as Prime Minister. Yeah, that it's very dodgy indeed. Don't like it here. Don't like it at all, guys. Good morning, Jao. Thanks for popping in. Hope to see you tonight on the live stream as well. I take regular buses or drive myself. I can't, if I can stand that day. Taking chair apart while sitting in the boot is serious gymnastics, says Mel there. Excuse me. I don't use it here. Going backwards down the ramp gives me the heebies. Yeah, that's yeah. You might just fall and crack your head open if you did that, Mel. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. UK charter flights to evacuate Britons from Oman fails to take off. Oh, that's not good. The first flights chartered by the UK government to bring back Britons stranded in the Middle East by the US-Israeli war against Iran did not take off from Oman yesterday. The plane, which was due to depart on Wednesday, was not able to due to technical issues, the government said. It is intended to depart later today. Some 130,000 Britons have registered their presence in the Middle East, and the Foreign Office said it's working with airlines to bring them back. That's good. So that's good. So we had 130,000 Britons have registered their presence. That's very good that they've made themselves clear there. There were no signs of charter flights arriving at Heathrow Airport on Thursday morning. It did not appear the flight tracking service or arrival boards at the terminal. A spokesperson for the Foreign Office told an independent UK government charter flight was not able to depart from Oman yesterday as planned due to technical issues. The flight is now expected to depart later than today. Early morning arrivals include flights from South Africa and Nigeria as scheduled, but the terminal was quiet. A few commercial flights from the Middle East is due to arrive at Terminal 5 this morning. One from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, landing just after 6 a.m. British Airways flight from Muscat due to arrive at 6:25 this morning was delayed until 8:30 a.m. according to our arrival board. Flights from Doha and Dubai have been cancelled for reference there. Let's hope 130,000 Brits are in there. That's really worrying. Reform accused of return to old age racism are the Goodwit's remarks. That sounds like another story. Oh, it's an exclusive as well. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to add this to the... And I've got quite a few different stories here, guys. Got quite a few stories. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to add this to our reform pack. I you know, every time there's a reform story now, I'm literally just adding it here. How many stories have I got now for tonight? Just out of curiosity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 stories. I'm not going to read all of them, but what I'll do is we'll read the summaries of them, I think is what I'll do for tonight, myself and Graham. Streeting accuses racist reform of returning to age-old racism after by-election candidates' comments about being British. West Streeting appears to distance himself from claims made by both Nigel Farage and Keir Starmer that the Gordon by-election was fought on sectarian lines. Yeah, that's the language they're coming out with, unfortunately. Goddamn reflux is driving me mad. For the Audio Appreciation Society, thank you for the £2 super chat, Steam Banker. It's very kind of you. And Viper Scott again with another £2 super chat. Very generous this morning. Thank you so much there. And we've hit today's super chat. Go! Confetti, confetti, confetti. This is the best confetti I can do, guys. It's just flap my hands. I do need to know how to do something like he does. I need to find a way to do that. What else of stories are there? Historians lift the lid on how Churchill would have dealt with Iran war. I don't think you can make. I don't think you can make a comparison. It just doesn't work. UK troops ready for deployment in Cyprus, Western officials say. Yeah, they look. I know people don't like it, but the UK troops do need to be ready. They need to be ready for it. 3 ways to combat energy bill prices amid the Iran-US price war fears. Spitfire to fly across the UK to celebrate the aircraft's 80th anniversary. What else we got here? Southeast Water fined £22 million for repeated supply failure. Only 22 million, guys. Southeast Water, only £22 million. Off what says significant water supply failure caused major destruction of 100,000 customers. Yeah, so for all those people who have been impacted, they only get just slapped with a £22 million fine. Absolute dogs nollocks there. Omu Prazarang, yeah, you need to keep reminding me that. Graham Hughes as threshold of the UK supply of confetti. He's travelling at the moment. Is he travelling to the island as we speak, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's travelling to the island. I know he's travelling right now. I wish him well. I really do. Crystal Palace boss hit with speeding ban. Heating oil price spike leaves households and suppliers out of pocket, apparently. The mask slips during Caroline Levitt's press conference on Iran. Yeah, because they have to keep changing their bloody story. Absolutely. Always have to keep changing their story, don't they? They have to keep changing their story, guys, to suit their own narrative. They can't keep their... It's never mind not giving the truth. They can't even keep their lies straight. That's how terrible the Trump administration is, guys. He is at the island now, Reganelite. Oh, he got there. Good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I hope him and Ishmael, isn't it? Ishmael, who lives on the island with his family. Hope they're all doing well. Pretty sure it's Ishmael who lives on the island that he pays to live on the island. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I hope they're all doing well. I really hope I can catch one of these live streams just to say hello. There. Asylum seekers who break the law to have support removed. This is the BBC, guys. Defence Minister in Cyprus after criticism of the UK drone strike response. Yeah, Cyprus is not happy about it, of course. I wonder if they told them who was responsible because if allegedly it was Israel, the UK government will not say it publicly, but would they tell Cyprus privately about it? If it was them, allegedly. Just curious. Stock markets and oil prices still volatile as it fears Iran war may drag on. Starmer defends Iran response as Baganot calls for more action. Baganot's an absolute dumbass. And I had to do that video on her. If you didn't see me like slate her yesterday on a separate video from PMQs, I had to slate her for it. You know, she absolutely deserved to get slated for it. She deserved it. You know, Laurie skipping border checks as disease risks, says MPs there. That's worrying indeed. Trump says Starmer is no Churchill. Well, no, of course he's not. What else has got here? Let the water fine. Allergy training to become compulsory in school for England after the death of boy at 5 years old. How did this happen? Schools in England must provide allergy awareness training for all staff for the first time under new statutory guidance announced by the Department of Education. I don't have a problem with them doing this. Space adrenaline auto-injectors must also be stocked for schools for emergencies involving children without a prior allergy diagnosis. Plans follow cross-party support for Benedict's Law, a campaign to improve allergy safety in schools by ensuring consistent life-saving protections for children with food allergies and anthrax. However, Paul Whiteman, General Secretary of School Leader Union, the NAHT, warns each requirement in the new guidance needs funding and schools cannot be expected to fund from their budgets. Yeah, I'm all for this training, but they should be provided the funding needed by the government in order to do it. The Early Education Minister Oliver Bakeley says lots of schools... Sorry, there's noise outside again. Mind you, it is nice and warm. And you can tell from the screen as I bring in the sunlight, you can see. Lots of schools in the country already have a great politics in place, and they're already doing a lot of this. It is something we think it's reasonable for schools to pay out of core budgets. We are committed to working with schools to make it as easy as possible. So you're not giving them money necessary for this. You're basically telling them to pull it out of their backsides. The school forms part of the government's wider work to reform the school's food system and expand free school meals to an additional 500,000 children this September. The campaign is named in memory of 5-year-old Benedict Bly from Stamford in Lincolnshire, who died of anaphylactic reaction at school in December 2021. His mother, Helen, who has campaigned alongside the National Allergy Strategy Group, describes today's announcement as a really significant day. She says there is a catalogue of errors that contributed to her son's death when he was given milk containing cow protein milk, despite his allergy being on the record. An inquiry last year into Benedict's death showed a failure by the school to identify his symptoms in time, meaning he was not given the medication soon enough to save his life. Yeah. That's absolutely terrible. Dentists return £900 million for not seeing NHS patients. Dentists in England are returning hundreds of millions of pounds a year to the government for unfilled NHS care, the BBC has learned. Over the last 2 years, more than £900 million has been handed back, £1 out of every £7 that's been paid, as dentists instead prioritise private work. The findings help better explain why the record slumps has been set aside for NHS dentistry. With so many patients struggling to get one, more than a fifth of people reports not being able to access their care when they need it. The government says improvements are being made this year, and any money returned was reinvested into the service. Over £900 million in the past 2 years. They're prioritising private work. What's the main reason? We are concerned about maybe uncertain about cost availability treatment options that we're entitled to. CMA said pay fees between 22% and 2024. Dentists can now make double seeing patients privately rather than on the NHS, carrying out treatments for fillings. This is it. It's down to money. They can get better money being on the private dentistry than NHS. But the British Dental Association said that this was because NHS patients were payments were too low. Dentists using money for some treatments. He said it was the major reason dentists were failing to fulfil their contracts. Why can we not use the money to help? Why can we not use this money to subsidise this then? Under NHS contracts, dentists agree how much NHS work they are going to provide during the year and receive monthly payments from the health service for that. If a dentist practice under-delivers, class as below 96% of the contract value, the NHS then recoups the money from practice the following year. 2024-2025, more than 400 million was returned. BBC announced that NHS account shows 480 million was recaptured returned the year before. In each year, more than 40% of dentistries had to hand the money back. It represents a sharp rise in sums returned in previous years. NHS dental treatment still below pre-pandemic levels. Courses of treatment start in all medical bands this year from March 2020 to 2025. This is a source from NHS England. It has been going back up. It's not the same as 2020, but it has been slowly improving. It's been very slow. But even under the Conservatives, it was coming back up. Even under the Conservatives here, it was coming back up. 1 in 7, yeah, 1 in 7's really bad. While the money that is returned is largely a failure to fulfil contracts, it is sometimes handed back if audits find a practice has incorrectly claimed too much for the NHS treatments. This only accounts for a small fraction of the total sum. These figures reflect what people across the country tell us. Many cannot get an NHS dental appointment, and others find their dentist has stopped providing NHS care altogether and now only offers private treatment. The impact falls heaviest on those who are already vulnerable, especially people who struggle financially, who are left with nowhere to turn under a dental contract and is simply not fit for purpose. Government says it's increased the amount of dentists work for getting an NHS and provided £20,000 golden hellos to get dentists to work in areas with the poorest area. This is increasing the number of treatments being carried out, the government said. Yeah, that's because you're providing funding to it. But you're giving the money. You're giving the money to the dentists to say stick with us, not private, and they're getting decent money for it. But if you're not going to give them, if the dentists aren't going to get decent money, why bother being in the NHS and go private? For them, they make more money. Like, there are dentists out there who generally are passionate and care about their work, but there are those. But if there's an opportunity for them to make more money, they're going to make more money. That's common sense. The government needs to do. The government needs to do something here. Maybe they need to cap the amount of money that they. Maybe they need to cap private dentist companies the amount of money they can charge patients. Maybe they should look at some kind of cap, perhaps. Something that stops them taking advantage of the NHS dentistry system. They need to look at something. I don't know if a cap is possible, but just we need to alleviate this. We need to alleviate this, and also we need, the money and the terms and conditions of being in NHS, working for the NHS dentistry in terms of private needs to be better. It needs to be better and more appealing to the dentist, so that they don't switch to private. The Health and Social Care Minister Stephen Kinnock said the government is making progress. He added, "We know there's more to do to get to the root of the problem." NHS England spokesperson said the clawback data was effectively a year behind reality. The money was being returned was reinvested into dentistry, they claim. Okay, so they're claiming the money is going straight back into dentistry. That's what they're claiming. That they're not sitting on the money being returned. That's what they're claiming. That's an important context to add. Spring sunshine means parts of the UK bask in temperatures of 19 degrees. Any other stories there? Not really. My son can now enjoy life. Children with severe forms of epilepsy helped by the new drug. Oh, that's cool. And we've run out of time, but I want to see this last story before we head out. A new drug is transforming the lives of children born with severe forms of epilepsy, says doctors and families. Dravet syndrome can cause dozens of dangerous seizures a day and affects about 1 in every 15,000 babies born. Without effective treatment, the outlook can be devastating, with uncontrolled fits putting children at high risk of injury and death. The new drug, do not ask me to pronounce that name, Zoravinian, is administered into the spine via an infusion and works by managing the underlying cause, in most cases, a faulty gene affecting the brain. Freddie Truelove from Huddersfield is one of the first children in the UK to receive the new treatment and has gone from having hundreds of seizures a day to a couple of weeks. His mum Lauren told BBC that the drug has given him has been a game changer for 8-year-old Freddie. He used to have hundreds of seizures a day. That's horrible. We now have a life where we don't ever think this was possible. And most importantly, it's a life that Freddie can now enjoy. Before treatment, life was difficult. Since he has climbed mountains, he can go out walking with the dogs, or walk around the lakes, and he's even been skiing. He's out there enjoying life. Fantastic. The early trial results published by the New England Journal of Medicine shows the experimental treatment can be given safely to adolescents and young children from the age of 2 onwards. Stoke Therapist provided a drug that is given as a lower back injection to travel in the spinal fluids to the brain where it is needed. Drug symptoms caused by a mutation in 1 or 2 copies of a gene, SCN1A, that tells brain cells how to make important communication channels for sending signals. It means only half of the normal amount of sodium channels are produced in some neurons. It's designed to help ramp up the production of a healthy brain without activity, with fewer or no seizures. Professor Helen Cross, one of the lead researchers from the University College London Institute of Child Health and Great Ormond Street Hospital, says the results have been truly promising. It's exciting. It's amazing. With improvements that give them real hope, we are able to carry out more normal lives, particularly with their families. And even perhaps, if we get the treatment right, get near normal living in the longer term. This is wonderful stuff here. Yeah, seizures. When someone's having an epileptic seizure, it's important to stay with them until the seizure is over and they are fully recovered. Look for an epileptic identity card or identity jewelry. And it gives you information about their seizures and what to do. Most people absolutely don't need an ambulance when they have a seizure. This is actually true. As I might have mentioned to you guys, I know someone in my family who has suffered from seizures. And there is a way to respond to it. Seizures can be caused by conditions other than epilepsy. Yeah, there's lots of things that factors into it. There are two different types of epileptic seizures. Two common ones are tonic-clonic seizures and focal seizures there. And all the information you need on it there. What a wonderful story. What a wonderful story to end the live stream, guys. I'm so happy we have a drug that could really make a difference to children's lives. And it can just make a massive difference to children there. A really, really nice story to see ourselves out there, indeed. Okay, you guys are talking about something else. Okay, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Thank you for those who gave Super Chats today. Thank you, Viper Scott. Very generous this morning. Much appreciated. I'll be back live tonight with myself and Graham Price with Reform Watch. Plenty of Reform stories to talk about that we will cover together on here as well. I might tweak the format a little bit because opening up the stories is a bit difficult. But what I'll probably do for the show tonight is I will probably basically just have me and Graham on the screen, and I will read about it, and then we will share our thoughts about it. I think that's what we'll probably do with it for the show tonight, guys. So if you can join us for it, feel free to do so. But if you can't, I'll be back live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another show. Yes, it will be 8 p.m. tonight, Mel. Yes, it will be. So yeah, thank you guys again. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Take care of yourselves as always. If the weather is nice, get out there, get a bit of sunshine. It'll be good for you there. I have a friend with non-epileptic seizures. It makes life challenging, but not a disorder that I would want for myself. Yeah. Personally, like I said, I know someone very close to me who has suffered from it. And I've experienced it when I was I've experienced, not myself, but I've experienced someone close to me had it when I was younger as a child. So it's very, very uncomfortable in those situations. I can't. So I'm totally in the same boat with you, my friend, on this. Yeah. But cross fingers, this drug can be mass produced, and we can save more children from it as much as possible. There, cross fingers for it. And they're from the signs, it looks very, very positive indeed, and that's exactly what we need. And Sass, thanks for popping in. Appreciate that as well. And anybody else lurking in the chats. On your way out, if you can for me, please hit that like button. Share this across social media. Subscribe if you haven't to already. Do check out Rumble and Patreon. There'll be videos dropping literally as we speak on those platforms as well. And again, if you want to financially support me in the work that I do on this channel across other social medias, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member. And if you want to join either Patreon or buy me a coffee, your name gets added to these wonderful people down here, this list below here, who supported me when I got demonetized. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.